I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
Uh-oh, I'm back in control. Where's Glenn? Where's Anthony? Let's find out.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to No Vacancy Live on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Again, producer Dave here, starting the show off for you because we're going to come to you from a little different of an angle because right now, Glenn and Anthony are enjoying the brand new Resorts World Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, which is opening today. We've talked about this project a lot here. We had a show dedicated to it a few months ago. Well, today is the big day, and everyone is super excited. So we're going to come to you with a pre-recorded show today with 3 executives from the property, including Scott Sabella, returning president of Resorts World Las Vegas. Glenn and Anthony were there a couple days ago. They got to tour the property, got to do these interviews, got to see things before the opening is taking place. But right now they are there at the opening, checking everything out, seeing how everything is going. So we are going to be reporting a lot of great things throughout the next few days and weeks from Resorts World Las Vegas. But right now, make sure you stay tuned. Check out these amazing interviews with 3 of the top executives from the property.
Hey, Anthony, great to be here at Resorts World Las Vegas. I know you look distracted over there. I don't know what he's going on, but we're going to be talking a little bit of food and beverage right now. We're going to welcome to the show Andrea Ung, Director of F&B here at Resorts World Las Vegas. Andrea, so great to see you.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Anthony.
And so thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Andrea.
Thanks for having me.
So, all right.
You know, Glenn, you said a little food and beverage. You said a little food and beverage. It's a lot of food and beverage.
A lot of food and beverage. I don't think I've seen a collection such as this in such a long time, if possibly ever. But I got to tell you, I'm wandering around. I'm looking around. And for you guys, I'm here 2 days early. We're recording these interviews. And I got to tell you, this is unbelievable.
Thank you.
That food court, which is not called a food court, Famous Foods, looks spectacular. All sorts of different Asian companies seem to have come together to create something that I've never seen before. Pretty cool. Andrea, how'd you get involved in doing all of this?
So first of all, thank you for saying all those things that you just said, because that's what we want people to see. We want people to see our food hall and see these are things nobody has ever seen in Las Vegas or in the United States. So really great for you to say that. That's exactly what our goal was. And that's what we wanted to bring. I just was really lucky. I think that there's an amazing team on property here. A lot of us have worked together before on projects.
Right.
And we reconnected. If you, when you get the opportunity to come here, you'll see that this is really a stellar team of food and beverage and hospitality professionals here. And we've come together to put this project together.
So what are the...
Well, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, before you got on, Glenn was talking to me because I can't be there. I'm in California. And Glenn was so excited because I've never seen anything like this. Like, we've been going to Vegas for a long time, and we've seen the best of the best. And he literally... he sounded like a 12-year-old in a candy store.
I've been a little bit too enthusiastic about everything when it comes to Resorts World. But one of the things I like, Andrew, is I happen to, my palate hews more towards Asian flavors, right? My family, we think that's the best. But to be able to get Peking duck in a food court type of scenario, all of these fresh dumplings, a yakitori bar, all sorts of great things, clay pot stuff. This is really, to me, at the forefront of what food and beverage wants to be, particularly when it comes to a food hall concept. So how do all these components come together?
So, you know, I think the goal is, right, we live in a foodie culture.
Right.
People are seeking out these concepts that they know from across the nation, in the world, right? And so the team here, they put together a really great collection of the most Michelin rated spaces under one roof.
Yep.
We've got James Beard award winning chefs with us. And that was our goal, was to find, I'll use Googleman as an example. Goggleman is known for his char kway tao. He's very famous. People travel to see him. He wears his signature goggles. That wok hay that comes off the wok burns his eyes, so he wears those goggles. People have heard about him across the world. So for us to get him to come to Las Vegas is a really big deal. And people that know what this concept is, they come here specifically looking for it. And then it's a really great story for people that have never heard of something like that, and to familiarize themselves with a signature item from a country or a locality that nobody's ever seen before. And at the end of the day, it's really delicious food.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. So that's just the food court premise. Of course, you have a whole array of upscale dining over there. How do you go about choosing what elements are going to work to create all sorts of different dining experience that is appealed towards all of the different moods that we feel? We're right now, we're doing this from the sports bar, the Dog House, for example. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very different vibe than Bar Zazu or Fuhu or Genting Palace, for example. So how does it all work together when you are penciling all of these things out to try to bring all these unifying concepts together?
So when you look at how you're going to build the collection of restaurants, what you're going to have on property, you have to look at your guest. Right? And a lot of times you have to look at who's in-house in the hotel, who is the population in the city. And we have 3 hotel towers here.
Yep.
We have a Hilton, we've got Conrad, and we've got Crockford. So you've got our guest that's on vacation and they're looking to have an amazing experience here. We've got a luxury tower, and then we've got a super premium luxury tower. And I think that the collection of restaurants, bars, lounges, and really the collection as a whole really speak to that. There's something for everyone. But when I say that, I mean that in a really well curated sense. We've curated the collection to fit the component of people that we have on property. And so if you want to come to Doghouse and you want to see a live concert with a country band, you can. If you
coming next month, as a matter of fact.
Coming next month. And if you want to go somewhere and you want to have a 20th anniversary dinner in a fine dining restaurant with tablecloths and china and the finest wines, we can do that here. And so I think the food hall really meets and matches, though, what a guest may want. There are so many things in famous foods for a guest to come eat if they just want to pass through. That famous foods meets all the guests, right?
Yep.
But then
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was just going to say, so if you want to look for a foodie's paradise, we have it. If you want to look for a really relaxed, fun time, we have that. And when I say fun time, there's so many different ways to have that. We've got Doghouse, we've got food, we've got nightlife. There's just so much to do on property. And our goal is for someone to come here. And if you decide you never want to leave the walls of this building, you can do everything you want to do inside this space.
Right. Anthony?
So are there any secret restaurants that only the special people will know about?
Maybe secret dumpling house?
It sounds like that's a leading question. We have some secrets here. You'll have to find them.
Yeah, well,
I will find them.
I'll be here scouring the place. But Anthony, go for it.
So how do you, first of all, I'm delighted as having 3 girls. It's delighted to see a female in such a role that I really haven't seen a female in a role as director of food and beverage in such a large property, and it's wonderful to see that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And as the person leading this incredible organization from food and beverage, like what do you do? Like, how do you go about that? Because there's so many different personalities, from the chefs to the brands. How do you bring it all together so it's one collective voice?
So great question.
One voice,
Great question.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people that work in the building, but really at the end of the day, you look for people that align with the culture of the company. Right. We have a company culture here. We talk about the importance of hard work, harmony, compassion, wellness and safety. And all of those things, you look for those characteristics when you hire into the company. And when those people have those core characteristics, I think it's really simple to align, and everyone's on the same page as to how we get to that common goal. So, even when there's a lot of people, as long as you have that, it makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, it sure
So
does.
when you're not working and you have 5 minutes to yourself, what's the one place? What would I see on your plate if you had everything that's in that building? And I know you can't play favorites, but what's the thing that you lean to, that you crave for, that if you had 5 minutes to just pull away?
That's a really hard question.
I know,
That's a really hard question. I can eat pasta every day. I shouldn't eat pasta every day, but I could eat pasta every day. Whatever sauce, whether it's red, white, wine-based. And, we can get that in a number of places here.
Right.
I like food, if you can't tell.
Really?
Food and beverage, I like food. I can't play favorites. But
I can't imagine getting into the food and beverage business and not having an incredible passion for it. Did I see a place that serves lobster and hamburgers?
You did see that. You did see that. Marigold is our burger and lobster restaurant.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
All right, I can't wait to go check out that particular menu. Now, guys, feel bad for me because there's all these great eateries. None of them are open yet, so I'm left just wondering what is going to happen. But Andrea, one of the challenges you have is not just finding great restaurants to be here, but be ahead of the food culture, be ahead of that dialogue, and also you don't want to repeat what all the other mega resorts have been doing in this town. So what is that challenge like to be able to pair up with the right people that will be food forward while also being wholly original to the city?
So I think it takes a lot, right? You have to find people that are passionate about food, that don't just love food, but really are passionate about the craft of food. That's cooking, that's service, that's innovation, right? And when you bring all those people together, you're constantly working towards something else,
right?
Because there's so much in the city, right? But there's so much globally, there's so much internationally, and you really just have to always look.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you have to eat too, so it's a hard job.
Yeah, it sounds really terrible. I've got a lot of pity for you, Anthony.
What are you doing in reference to the room service? Because room service, as we know, has changed dramatically in the hospitality business. And in Vegas, I'm noticing still, even with Vegas being pretty wide open, it's hard to get room service. So what is it going to be 24-hour room service? Is it going to be one tower? You're going to have 24-hour? How are you guys going about room service? And is it going to be tablecloths, or is it going to be the shopping bags that we've been seeing with the plastic containers? How have you thought or thought about room service?
And Andrea, let me just throw in this. What we talk a lot about accelerating of the trends during the COVID period. We don't really think that there's going to be anything permanently because of that, but we saw stuff earlier in the marketplace. So I'm curious as to.
So that's really, really great questions, right? I think that trends in general for dining have changed,
right?
Or always change. They're ever changing, and the way that room service was being facilitated was inevitably starting to change even prior to what we've just experienced. And so we will have some traditional room service on property where a person will have the ability to have that tablecloth experience wheeled into your room and have that in their room. But what we've seen as a culture in the city and as a trend is that people are looking for more. Right? You want to have access. We have on property something that nobody else has. We have a program called On the Fly, which we've partnered together with a food delivery application. And when you see it, you'll be amazed because it couldn't get any easier. But what it does is it puts all of the restaurants at your fingertips. Not one, which is room service, but it puts all of the restaurants on property at your fingertips. So you can order from any restaurant on property from your phone. And you can set a delivery location to your room or to the pool. We have lockers at the pool. So
sweet.
If you're at the pool and you feel like dining, maybe not from the pool restaurant, but you don't feel like having agave today, you want dumplings. You can order that from your phone very easily. You can charge it to your room and we will deliver it to the location. And now you'll get notifications that it's coming, right? And so it does get delivered to you. It's in a takeout location and or takeout boxes. It's brought to you, but it gives you the ability. You might not have a plate in front of you. You might not have real flatware of a fork and knife, but now you have all the restaurants at your fingertips versus one. And if you've ever had the opportunity to order Grubhub from your home and use that, that's what we're doing here on a grand scale. Nobody's ever done that in Las Vegas before.
It just makes sense. And like, why wouldn't you? And it's just the next, like you said, it's the next level of what people want and how people want it. And that's amazing because there's so many times. Matter of fact, yesterday I was walking through the casino and I wanted noodles. I just wanted noodles. But I didn't feel like waiting in the line. I didn't feel like sitting down. I just wanted noodles. And I didn't want to go. They weren't doing room service. So I think that's fantastic. Is there a goal for timing on how long, no matter what restaurant it is, how long you want that delivered to the customer?
Absolutely. We want to follow the traditional room service model, right? And when you're sitting in your room and you order room service, you expect it to be there in no more than 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but you're hungry and you want to eat. And this is no different. It's the same thing when you order Grubhub from your home. You have an expectation of delivery within the hour, and that's when it's going to get to you. It doesn't get much easier related to putting it at the fingertips of the guest. And I think, our partners up and down the Strip have done a really good job of innovating this type of delivery. But the way that we're doing it and having partnered, with the Grubhub team and having an app on property that gives you access to our restaurants here, people don't have that available yet, and it's really going to blow.
And who's delivering it? Who's delivering it? Is it an employee from your hotel, or is it an outside delivery?
Yes, it's employed by our hotel. There are employees, there are food runners, and in the same way that a driver would get in their car, go pick up the food, and deliver it to your home, our runners will get notified. It's a really powerful app that we get to use both for the guests and on the back end for our team members, and they'll get notified. They'll go pick it up. They'll get the delivery location and they'll run it to you and bring it right to your door.
So what are the last few days before you open like, making sure all of these outlets are up and ready to go? I can imagine even when it comes to ordering the initial food orders, you really had to think cleverly because there's so many supply chain issues generally.
Yes.
And then incorporating a massive resort like this, it's got to have been a couple of challenges.
It's definitely a lot of coordination. It takes a lot of coordination from, all the people involved in food and beverage.
Right.
That's our vice president, that's me, that's the executive team in food and beverage, as well as the leadership team in all of the restaurants, because, there are a lot of common items being used by everybody. And to your point, there are supply chain issues. We're a huge property. We're ordering massive amounts of everything you can imagine. And so really, we've got great relationships with all of our partners and vendors in the city, and having those conversations that these orders are coming and taking them in as we can.
Right. So you probably started having these discussions 6-8 months ago or whatever it might be. So how long does it normally take when you say we want to serve chicken on Thursday? When do you have to order that sort of stuff?
We can usually do that pretty quickly, within a day.
Yeah.
We can make that change in a day or 2 days, just depending on what supplies we have available. We get deliveries every day.
Yep, of course.
We get deliveries every day. We can make it happen very quickly.
Yeah, and if you ever seen a loading dock in Vegas hotel, you see trailers and trailers of things being delivered every single day. One of the great things about having such a seasoned team is typically when you're taking over a hotel, if you don't have seasoned people, there's a lot of let's just say voices raised and a lot of anxiety, and everybody's kind of stressed out and it kind of feeds on each other. When you have really seasoned people like yourself, what is it like to be in a room when you got a target on your back and it's go time? I mean, Resorts World has been sitting there and being built a long time, and everybody is looking at it. We're looking at it. We're excited about it. What is that like for you guys as a seasoned professional? Are you guys having those elevated conversations? Everybody's just in their zone. Everybody's just doing what they need to do.
Everybody needs to do what they need to do, but we also have to work together as a group, right? We want to work together as a whole instead of parts of the pie, right? If that makes sense.
Yep.
And so we have to have conversations with everybody. I think communication is key. And I think the most important part is we're getting so close to opening. We're there, right? In our minds, we're there. We've been practicing and we're ready to go. And so it's really about preparation, making sure we prepare everything that we need to have, and also being adaptable, because to your point, there are supply chain issues. We might not have something that we expected to have, but how do we have, what's our alternative? How do we fix that? So we're going to be ready to go, and we're really excited, and we can't wait to welcome everybody here.
Well,
so if the beds don't show up, you just give them sleeping bags.
That sounds about right. So, Andrea, as you're approaching the opening, last question for you. How does it feel to be moving on onto the next phase from preparing to operations?
It feels great. Listen, everything we've been doing up to this point is fun, but the real fun starts on the 24th.
Yep.
We love to be with people. We love to be serving guests. This is what we do best. And so we're excited to just have guests.
Yeah, I bet. All right, so I said that was my last question. I totally lied.
I have one more too.
Yeah, I got one more question for you. How do you know how many people you're going to need to serve meals to in all these restaurants when you have no understanding of a track record?
That's a great question. We are just going to be prepared.
Yeah.
We have a maximum of what we can take, and we will be prepared for that.
All right, excellent. Anthony, what's your last question?
So which game, if you're on the casino floor, do you play?
Oh my gosh, did you have to ask this question?
Yes.
There is a game.
Yeah.
It's called Foodie.
Foodie?
And I do enjoy playing that game.
Excellent.
It's my one.
How do you play? What kind of game? What kind of game?
I'm not good at it, but I play it. It's a slot machine.
Okay. Oh, I've seen that one.
Oh, okay.
No, Fudai, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have seen that one. All right. I'm going to go play that one. Yeah, excellent. All right, Andrea, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it.
Good luck.
All right, Anthony. Now, of course, one of the major things about a casino resort is that casino. So, we had to talk to the VP of Casino and Gaming, which is, of course, Mr. Rick Hutchins. I said that like everybody on earth knows you're the VP of Casino Gaming here. Rick, congratulations. How cool is this? I just had a chance to walk around the casino floor. Absolutely gorgeous. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We are excited about what we're about to bring to life here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years, and we think we've got something really special.
Yeah, I like how you say 10 years, although for those of you who know, the building's been here even longer than that. So it's great to see everything finally done, finally complete. Dream come true, I'm sure, for you and your own team. But we're going to talk a little bit about casino and gaming, what your expectations are, and how you kind of approach the gaming floor. First, I got to say, I was looking at all the gaming tables, and they are beautiful. I never stopped and noticed gaming tables before. I was telling Anthony before we started recording, the veneers on there are just absolutely gorgeous. Everything feels really elevated over here.
It is. It's elevated, but it's still comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Our design team, they spent a lot of time really with all of the details, making sure that the entire experience looks right so that we can then bring the energy together. I mean, it's one of those where it's not opulent, but it's amazing. And yet when you're in the space, it's just so inviting.
Right.
I'm excited to see it come to life.
Excellent. So what is the secret to putting together a casino floor that's going to create energy, create that excitement, and more importantly, get a lot of money to drop through those tables?
Yeah. Well, what we did, we really wanted to break the mold, basically. Scott Sabella, our president, he challenged us. He said it's been 10 years since another property is open. And he wanted to see us do it different, reinvent the classic experience of Las Vegas in terms of guest service. And that, when people say, I miss the old Vegas,
right,
from a guest service standpoint, but do it with today's technology. And he challenged us to go out and find what's out there. And if it's not out there available, go find somebody that'll make it happen. And so, we did just that. We're going to have all of the latest, the newest slot machines out there and some of the classic slots for the customers that like some of the favorite classic machines in the high limit area. But more importantly, we really brought technology to the gaming floor so that we can set the foundation for what we believe is going to be the future. And it's a digital experience where we've brought 5 vendors from slots, table games, the systems, payment side, and we bundled this experience. So we have really an end-to-end gaming experience where I can move from a slot machine to a table game. And I can either play with that Tito ticket that I've cashed out at a slot machine. I can play it at the table, or I can cash out a Tito ticket at the table and go to the slot machine, or I can do my cashless wagering through my wallet that's built into our Resorts World app.
Cool.
Glenn, you know who's going to have the most stressful job day one?
Who's that?
Everybody's going to be stressed, but man, I don't know if I'd want to be the vice president of IT.
for sure. But I may not want to do that job, but I certainly, Rick, I love what your job is over there. So when you've got the technology side down, but you want to create that energy, you want to create that excitement. As I said, you want to get people to spend. So how do you go about setting up the floor in order to create maximum flow, but also maximum stop so people play?
Well, yeah, that's kind of that mousetrap. So
Yeah.
thankfully, Scott and team, they built the podium. They really built this property to be integrated, where you have food and beverage and the space that we're in here in the doghouse, entertainment all around the casino. And so the casino is central to that with hard surface pathways all the way around it. So you're bouncing from food and beverage to bar venues, all and bars throughout. We've got a bar in the center of the casino. We've got a bar on the east side, and we've got this one here on the west side, so that you just pack that energy. And we've marketed and merchandised our table games such that we believe we've got the right table games and the table games mix to really feed off of the doghouse. And then the slots, we've got some great feature areas. We've got a Buffalo World. We've got the Buffalo games that's favorite for slot customers.
Right.
And then we've got a big electronic table games feature in the other area. So we think we've really laid it out nicely. The cool thing is the floor is a raised floor. If we didn't get it right, we can move everything around.
Right. And that's what's really important, though, because things change and you're going to be swapping in and out machines, for example. And while we're at the doghouse, I love that it's 30, 50 feet just across one hallway. It's a very wide corridor, so nobody will feel on top of each other. You got craps tables right there. You believe people are going to come here, hang out for watching some sports, have some drinks. They're most likely to play craps.
That's right. Whether we have a country band on here on a Saturday night when it's quiet for sports, or on a Sunday afternoon when we are all lit up with sports throughout this entire entertainment district, they're going to feed off. And that's, craps, right? Craps really is where it drives the action and it feeds off each other.
Well,
so
that's my favorite game in the house, right?
Yeah.
I just love the excitement, and it really creates that thing. And that's why when it's right out there, all of a sudden, and it's like the first you walk right into the gaming floor, Anthony, and it's right there. And I love that because everybody's hooping and hollering. Unless, of course, you go to a casino in Canada and then they all just look at each other and they're very quiet. It's a very weird culture in casinos up there. Anthony?
One of the things, that I think a lot of hotels and hospitality folks are getting away from, that is really, you said old school, right? We're going to bring back old school Vegas. Well, what's old school is service. And when you have all the technology, you have all the gaming, you have all the stuff, you have the technology, and you have the greatest celebrities coming in, A-list bands. But that person getting a drink, that person getting a key at the front desk, that person meeting the person that's picking up the garbage, how do you get all those people? And I'd like to know how many employees are in the hotel, but thousands and thousands of employees to really kind of quiet and just shut down all the noise and have those really, really gentle moments with that guest. Like, how is that? Because I really see that that's becoming a lost art. And unfortunately, I love Vegas, but sometimes, you don't get that anymore.
Yeah, that's a great question. And, it kind of ties together. First, it's about building a culture, right? And our culture is a culture of you, where we show up, step up, and lift up. And that is how we are building our culture within our employees. The technology that we're deploying, it's not just for guest convenience, but it's for employee convenience. It's to help automate some of these processes employees have been very frustrated with dealing with, that kind of takes away from them doing the job, which is greeting guests and showing that service and being able to stop and walk around with the guests and ask them. And so pulling all this technology together, starting that culture with a culture of you, and then just really driving it home to the employees. That's how we get there. And it won't be easy, but what has been fantastic is of the over 100,000 applicants that we've had.
Wow.
Right. We got to really hand select and identify those with the attitude. We wanted people that wanted to be here. We didn't talk to them about their experience first. We talked to them about wanting to be here and be part of the Resorts World team and being part of changing the Las Vegas Strip. And so that's where we get to start.
Right. And I think, one of the ways to do that, and any organization I've taken over, is that 10 for more rule, right? You always greet every guest passing you. And that seems to be a lost art. And so I look forward to coming to your casino. I can't wait to see it. And thank you so much for bringing a poker room. So tell me about the poker room, being a poker player. Are you guys going to try to compete with some of the rooms? Are you really all in on poker? Like, what does the room feel like?
Rick, I want you to know this is the most important question of the entire day, including for Mr. Sabella. So
I love it. Well, I'm telling you, Scott loves poker. When I came on board, he says, we got a poker room. We got about 30 tables. And I said, that sounds great. I said, let's go look at it. The poker room was the first facility that was done in this building. Really? That was the attention they put on that poker room. It is amazing. We've got 25 tables in the main room. We've got 2 tables in glass walls that you can flip the switch and the clear goes to opaque so that you can have some level of kind of privacy. It's not reserved. I mean, it's not private gaming, but it's reserved. And then we have other salons in our Crockford's lounge we can have poker games and compete. So we have hired the director of poker. He's a former Wynn executive and an Encore executive. He went out and hired what he has told me is the best of the best. We are going to compete.
Well, I will be in that room because I've been in every poker room in Vegas. I was in one last night, and when I'm in Vegas, I play poker. So, it's interesting. You said it's not a private game; it's a reserved game because you're not allowed to have private games in Vegas. Is that correct? The casino, is that correct?
You can have private games. The Gaming Control Board has extra requirements that you follow, and we do have private salons on the 5th floor and the 66th floor. We have our Sky Casino on 66.
That's gonna be my next question.
Yeah. Sky Casino is amazing. So it's a lounge, bar. We'll have a few video poker machines there. And so that's open to the public.
It is? The general public?
Yes, the Sky Casino Lounge. And then we have our 3 private salons up there. And so the criteria, the Gaming Control Board has certain minimum criteria that you would have a private game. And then there's surveillance requirements and other reporting requirements.
Well,
so
I think
do it. So
I think what's a good idea is for you to invite me to one of those private games, but you front me the buy-in.
Oh, I get to front your money and then give you a private game. I like that.
This is a great deal for you, Rick. But you got to act now.
Sounds like it. I know. That's right.
But listen, Rick, so what are the games that are most popular these days, and with what type of people do they really appeal to? I see the poker set over there, but who's craps appealing to? Who are the slot machines appealing to? And then we'll wrap up because I think we got Scott here.
Yeah, no, it's great. So, I mean, slot machines appeal to everybody, right? Slot machines appeal to people that just want kind of a relaxation, just to get away. The Buffalo Gold is everybody's favorite. Craps clearly appeals to that, 50-year-old demographic that, has been coming to Vegas for a long time, loves to roll the bones. They highly communal. They bounce from bars out there onto the floor. And then, you've got your blackjack players. I mean, blackjack is everybody's favorite game. If you're a card player, you hit blackjack.
Rick, you going after Dana White?
Hey, go ahead.
Well, you know what? I think Dana's going to want to come here and play here because he's going to want to feel this vibe.
All right, Rick, I'm sorry. We have to wrap up with you. We've been told our time with you is over.
All right.
But thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Anthony, stay tuned. We're going to bring in Scott right now. Anthony, we got Scott Sabella, president of Resorts World Las Vegas here. Scott, so great to see you. Congratulations. How exciting is this for you?
Thank you so much. We're so excited. It's been a lot of work for the last couple of years, and we're at the finish line, but we're so excited to introduce the property to Las Vegas.
All right, now we've only got about 10 minutes with Scott, Anthony, so ask your questions wisely.
Okay, the question I have, well, first of all, I want to thank you for bringing the first resort to life after 10 years. And I know in talking to your team that you're bringing not only technology, not only kind of old school Vegas back, but you're really bringing the food and beverage to the next level. So in all your experience in Vegas, what does this feel like to you? I mean, why does it feel different if it does?
Yeah, and that's a great question. I've been doing this a long time, and the executive team that we formed here has a lot of great experience on the Las Vegas Strip. And we learned what you can do and not do 10 years later, like you said, and how the city's evolved and taking advantage of technology and all the things you can do differently. So we're not saying we're any smarter, but it's just things have changed, and these properties are set up. They have a certain infrastructure. It costs a lot of money to do certain things. So we wanted to break the mold and just start with fresh, cleanest slate and design a property how you would 10 years later. And I think we accomplished that.
So how do you approach that? And I would like to say, I walked in. I knew we have 3 Hiltons here, but when I walked in, I saw the Elvis mural, and it said Las Vegas Hilton. And I checked on the website; it's actually called the Las Vegas Hilton. How cool is that, marrying the old Vegas with ultra modern, future forward Vegas?
And that was our plan from the beginning.
Yeah.
So we wanted to bring the Hilton as a partner. They haven't been here many years, like you mentioned. They need this big city for their convention groups. So we have all that throughout the country. But they're excited to have them back. They have 3 great brands. It helps us truly become an integrated property where we can cater to all different levels of customers. Their technology, their forward thinking. They've done a lot. They're a great partner, and we wanted to showcase that and be proud of it. And that's why you'll see Elvis is in the building a few times throughout the property.
So I have a quick question, and it's something that just popped in my head. But because you're going after, like you said, all levels of guests, that guest that is the most exclusive gambler in the world, how do you go selecting those people that handle those people? Like, because I would imagine managing that level of guests is very, very, very specific, and that person has to have abilities that most people don't have.
Absolutely. And we built, again, a really great experienced team that has been doing this for up and down the strip for many, many years. It was going to be challenging before this pandemic, but then when the pandemic hit, a lot of people unfortunately got laid off and furloughed. So we were able and lucky to build a really strong team here because you need that experience. And then we built an experience that we think is better than what you'll see up and down the strip, because we were able to, again, start from scratch. So the way you pull into the Crockford entrance, the beautiful lobby, how easy it is to get to your elevator, how easy it is to get the customer in action in the casino there, and just the overall experience all around is just completely different than what I've had, and I've been doing up and down the strip, and that's what we focused on, each area, just taking advantage of what you do today.
Yeah, and I'll tell you also had a little bit of luck. I mean, opening right this week as the whole country is really reopening. I happened to last night walk up and down the strips, went to a couple of your old properties, and the energy and excitement I know is going to spill over to here. So very fortunate to be opening when you're opening. As you're about to open, though, what are you thinking right now? What is going through your head? You've done all of that planning. Everything is set now, and you've only got to open up the door. So what's going on in your head?
It's I'm really excited because I see everybody that has walked through the property, including you two guys, or you, I can see how excited you get, and everybody tells me it's different and better than what I thought. So I love to hear that because we did do it differently. So I think people are going to be amazed when they see it. Now we're just at the finish line to make sure everything works. We're checking a lot of people. Usually don't run 50% the first night you open. We're going to build up the occupancy for the 4th of July. So it's right now. It's we know everybody's going to come. They're excited. We're doing last minute things to make sure everything works when they get here.
And Glenn, when you're opening a property that big, the generals, their availability is the most important thing. It's the team is going to run the hotel, and all the executives, their job is just to be available. For the team, and there's no more exciting day, at least for me, when I open a property, is just being like having nothing to do, just going, what do you guys need from me?
That's it.
But I'm sure you'll have a lot to do.
and to tell the team, look, things aren't going to be perfect, and we know that. And I think guests will understand it. Hopefully, they're not drastic things, but that's part of an opening. You can't just open a building this size and make sure and everything's perfect. It will take us a few months to get everything running on all cylinders, but we did a lot of work. We programmed it, and this isn't going to be a ramp up to make money. This property will make money the first month, and we know, and that's how you do it today. And we're excited about doing that.
So, how do you think about how many people you're going to be bringing in the first month? How does all of that work for you in terms of meeting your expectations, or even setting those expectations? This environment's been so weird. Yeah,
and it's coming back so fast and strong. You want to drive the highest occupancies you possibly can, but you can't do that. So you got to be smart. So we have to do it when we're ready. So and the reservations are coming in at much better than what we expected. The
Great.
Hilton Honor Program has really helped kickstart our reservations.
Yeah.
So we'll slowly build up, but we feel comfortable going into 4th of July, which I believe will be the biggest 4th of July this city has seen, only because people just want to, we can finally go out and have fun 100%. So we're trying to ramp up and be at full capacity for the 4th, which is 10 days away from after we open. So it's a big challenge.
What's the one item in the resort that you think is the coolest item for you personally? Like, what's the one thing that you're like, wow, that is so cool?
You know what? It's a great question because there's so many cool things here, one after another, and I'm so proud on how we programmed it and designed everything. So we're in the doghouse now.
Yep.
So it looks like it's an old bar that you'd find out in Nashville, and that's what we wanted to look like. And then I'll run into a champagne bar, and then I'll run into another restaurant, and we use different designers for every venue. So the property has a great design, but each one has their own personality. And I think that's what's cool about this property.
So Glenn, before you leave today, I want you to go around the hotel and I want you to count all the glassware and get me a number on how much glassware is in the hotel.
A lot of glassware.
All right. So I didn't really know what to expect, but at the same time, I did know what to expect because I saw that amazing television ad. It was one of the best ads I've seen for Las Vegas ever. The colors in it, the music in it, the costuming in it, everything just told me what I would have to experience when I'm here. How did that all come together, and what you believe is going to connote what people could expect?
So first of all, thank you for saying it. It's exactly what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't your old-fashioned commercial that shows the property. We want to put something in your mind like, wow, is this what this place is going to be? And use your imagination. And then when you got here, it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it worked. But that's what we wanted to do. And we knew from the beginning that we wanted great partners here when it came to entertainment. And we purposely picked those 4. They all get along. They all did this for us. We all filmed it in 2 days.
Wow.
And they're partners here. And they wanted to be part of that commercial. And we're excited to have them for the next 2 or 3 years.
I bet.
And it worked out.
You guys are really telling everyone in this city you mean business. Between the restaurant lineup, the beautiful design of this place, the entertainment and music headliners that you're going to be bringing, unbelievable. So why'd you guys go with headliners as opposed to just doing a show?
Well, today, because when you did residencies in the past, there were always the kind of acts that were kind of on their way out.
Second or third tier.
Yeah, that. And they're
The
maybe
death
in
tour.
8th or 9th inning. But now that's changed.
Yeah.
So these are A+ acts that are still filling up arenas and all over the country, but they want to be part of Las Vegas. So we went with that, knowing we'd have these 4. We're still you'll see acts in the theater when they're not here.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're only 4.
Right.
And maybe one will go on tour next year, and we'll bring another one in, and they'll come back. But these are our 4 original partners to help kick off the property.
That's awesome. Anthony, we're getting short on time, so you have any more questions?
Who are the 4?
Katy Perry,
Celine
Dion, Luke Bryan, Carrie Underwood.
How freaking awesome is that?
Wow, my
I
favorite.
love those artists.
And then Tiesto and Zed are our nightclub DJs, residents.
Wow.
And then we got a lot of DJs below them.
Yeah, man, it's like
it's a great lineup.
they are, like I said, they are absolutely serious what they're doing over here. You want to be noticed, and you are being noticed here.
We want to be best in class in everything we do.
And I know
entertainment's one.
I know I asked you this this last time that you were on the show with me. What does it feel like for you, though, to be in charge of all of this, helping to create absolutely everything from the ground up? I know you had said your partners at Genting have been really terrific.
Yeah, our chairman is such a visionary, and the city is so lucky to have Genting entering Las Vegas, because he's just going to make this city better than what it is today.
Yep.
But just to be part of this and to start from scratch and to be able to design it and program it the way you would want to do something has been just the best thing in my career.
Yeah,
I just can't wait to bring it alive and get people in here.
I know. I'm
Friday.
so excited for you. It's like you've been building your whole career up to this moment. It must feel so rewarding.
It really is.
Anthony, any final question before we let Mr. Spella go?
No, I can't wait to see the resort. I'm going to try to be there on Thursday, and it's just an honor to have you on the show. And thank you. I know how busy you are. Thank you for giving us some time.
Thank you. I hope you can make it Thursday. Thanks, guys, for all your support.
Hey, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, he's got to get out of here. Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Producer Dave here again. I hope you enjoyed that episode and those interviews. I know I did. It's really exciting to see Resorts World Las Vegas finally getting open. It's another step in the right direction from the return of everything we've gone through for the last year and a half. Now, if you didn't see our last episode on Resorts World, make sure you check out our YouTube page or novacancynews.com. Make sure you see that episode because it's got beautiful renderings, beautiful descriptions of the property. And of course, if you plan on going to Vegas anytime between now and the rest of the time, you got to make sure you stop at Resorts World Las Vegas. It is going to blow your mind. I've seen some pictures. I've seen some video from Glenn and Anthony of the actual place live and in person, and it is spectacular. So make sure you are checking out Glenn and Anthony on all their social media channels. Anthony Hotels, Traveling Glenn on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You have the No Vacancy News page. You got LinkedIn. And, of course, you have your Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, NoVacancyNews.com, YouTube. You cannot not find us. So make sure if you're going onto the YouTube page, subscribe and hit the bell so every time we post one of these things, you get notified. And, of course, you can always make it simple on yourself. Text the word hotel to 66866. Get No Vacancy delivered to you. Once a week, every Sunday. It's just one simple email. No spam, no other content, just the most important things that we are doing brought to your inbox every Sunday in a very simple email. So, Glenn and Anthony will be back on Monday from their home bases, but make sure you check out Friday Night Audit tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Vegas time. We're going to be doing a little coast-to-coast episode. Glenn's going to be in Resorts World Las Vegas. I'm going to be in Resorts World Catskills. So we're going to have 2 great locations, 2 great bartenders, some amazing drinks, and even more laughs. And, of course, our good friend Craig Sullivan to boot. So for Glenn and Anthony, I am Dave Mignano. We will see you next time.